Coach, how big was it after they tied the game in the 7th inning? Of course, you had bases empty, 2 outs, and then an error, a hit batter. They tie the game, but you responded bottom half of the inning.
Yeah, I mean, story of the young season so far, and carrying over from last year. These guys are going to respond. It's what they train for. But we had it felt like some guys a really really tough opponent because they're maybe battling themselves a little bit, and it's hard to battle yourself and the opponent at the same time. But that's to be expected early in the season or any time throughout the season, as guys are not everybody's going to be in mid-season form out of the chute or always feeling like they've got their A game. So as much as we've jumbled the lineup up and really mixed a lot of things up, some of the instability in the run production could be accounted for with just different lineups every day, but some of it is just guys just fighting maybe a little bit with swing mechanics or approach or whatever the situation may be. But all in all, we knew we had to mount a response regardless of whether you got your A game or your C- game. When it comes time to it and the team needs a quality at bat or make a quality pitch or make a play, we just find a way to do it, and that's a credit to our guys for doing whatever it takes to be a couple runs better than the opponent and pulling that one out, because it wasn't easy at times.
Erik, I know this weekend you played with your lineup a lot. You had a couple of days where you just get 5 hits. Any concerns there, or what's your thought process right now with your lineup?
No concerns. I think it's more of just, okay, let's work with this guy and make sure his pitch selection is good. It's not his swing; it's the pitches he's swinging at. He's leaving the zone and not swinging at good pitches to hit and getting himself out. And another guy, it might be, okay, he's dumping the barrel a little bit and we got to flatten him out. And so I think it's more tactical. Of just, we know we've got really good players. We know we've got a really good team. And it's just, making tweaks here and there. And we'll do that all season long. We don't need to be playing our best baseball right now. We need to be playing our best baseball in June. So I like that we have things to work on. I mean, it's what we wanted. We wanted opportunities for growth, and we got a few with pitchers and hitters. And we've been playing very consistent defense all along, and that's got to continue to be a staple. I know we had the 2 throwing errors today, but not concerned about that at all. And it's really no concerns about the team. More is just helping individual guys fine-tune this or make this adjustment or this tweak or whatever.
What do you continue to see from someone like McClatty, who's put together a pretty strong weekend as this young season for him continues to develop?
Yeah, he's just, the game rewards the hard workers. It just, you don't know when the reward is coming, you just know it's coming. And for Tristan McClatty, he has been consistently one of our hardest workers. And he had to be patient last year, got very little playing time, but kind of springboarded that into the summer, was an all-star in summer ball, and then has just been what we're seeing these first 7 games is what we've seen in the fall and the preseason. He's just been one of our most consistent offensive players, and he's got the ability to impact the game with a little bit of power, and he's got the ability to impact the game with his speed. And he's versatile defensively, so he's a very valuable player for us just because of the variety of roles that he can occupy.
He wrapped his hand and he stayed in the game, obviously. He looked like he was okay, but pretty minor injury there.
No injury, he just, when he dove for the guy running down the line, he caught the spike, a kid's spike on his hand, and it's just a little scrape. It wasn't bleeding that bad, but I don't think you're allowed to be bleeding in the middle of the game. So Kim Hill, our trainer, who does a fantastic job, had to come tape him up.
Justin, because he kind of needed this, don't you think, to have this kind of outing? And I guess you guys did too, because obviously you're going to need him going forward.
Yeah, I think this was a huge, I know he deflected the question to the team, but I think this was a huge confidence building outing from him, something that he can go back to, even if he felt like he got squeezed on some pitches. He he did a really good job of responding. Whereas last week the negatives started to compound each other, and this today there may have been a double or a walk or a whatever, and he found a way to just stop the bleeding and get us out of the inning. And any pitcher who goes 6 scoreless, everybody's good nowadays. So for him to be able to do that, I thought was a huge step forward. But it was more about the way he pitched, not necessarily the outcome itself.
Can you talk about Purify? Think he got 2 sac flies that brought us some runs when he needed it. Can you talk about him?
Yeah, four quality at bats today. I mean, he on a different wind type day, he might have had 2 homers and 2 sac flies. Certainly that first one had a chance to be a grand slam. He put a charge into that one, but it's just this weekend. It's just been an odd, wind pattern. It's just blowing straight in, cold weather, straight in. So he had a great day. 2 RBIs, 2 sac flies, came up clutch. Knocking runs in when we needed him. But the strength of that kid is from the neck up. As good of a player as he is from the neck down, he's got a chance to be a tremendous leader on whatever team, corporation, business, family, anything. He's just got the it factor. He's a positive energy giver. He's a positive life force. He's a magnet. People gravitate to him. He's an easy personality to be around, makes people laugh, but also the way he prepares, the way he plays, the passion that exudes out of him, he's a natural leader. And for a sophomore to be elected captain reflects that.
You hit your first 2 home runs yesterday and today, the first 2 of the season. You feel like from a power standpoint, this team is pretty comparable to the other teams you've had?
I do, yeah. I mean, I know it's not, we're light in the power slugging category right now, but it's not because we haven't impacted the ball. We've impacted the ball just fine. It just they haven't landed over the fence. And if we were playing these games on hit tracks, then it'd be great, But hit tracks or any of the indoor games, they don't factor in the spin and they don't factor in the wind. And today this weekend, the wind played a big part in some of our long balls. But it is what it is. Some days you'll have those conditions. Some days the ball's not going to fly. Some days you play in a big park like Globe Life, and it's just more circumstances. But I'm personally, and speaking for our coaches, not concerned about our ability to slug. We feel like we've got plenty of offensive threats that can hit the long ball, and a lot of that, if take out the external conditions, it just comes down to pitch selection. For some guys, may not be slugging right now because they're just not swinging at pitches that are conducive to hitting it out of the park.
Coach, obviously big series next weekend against the Gamecocks, but you have Winthrop first on Tuesday. They've been a tough midweek out for years, so I know you guys won't be looking past them.
We won't. No, and we talked about that in the dugout after this game. It's Winthrop is the most important game right now because it's the next game, and we will not overlook Winthrop. And we know they're coming in, and they're a good team and very capable. And Coach McGuire does a hell of a job and had our number at USC Upstate one time last year. And we know they're going to be well coached, and he's going to have them fired up and playing hard. And so we will not. We'll be ready for the Gamecocks when it's time to be ready for the Gamecocks. But right now it's time to be ready to take on Winthrop.
Priest got a nice little double today. Can you just talk about him? His work ethic?
Yeah, he can really impact the ball. He's a guy that I think he's going to end up with a lot of home runs in this program at this field. He is just a big, strong, physical kid, and that double that he hit, he smoked it, and that was in a 3-0 count. So it's just he's one of those guys that when he puts a charge into the ball, like if we got a few guys like this, like Becerra and Gerald and others, that they don't have to hit it, they don't have to get all of it to hit it out. But Colin's also a really good hitter. He can go line to line, and he's not just one of those power guys that has to pull the ball. He's also a very good hitter, and projected to continue to be a staple in the order, especially in the middle of the order.
Anything else for Coach? All right,
Thanks,
All
Coach.
right. Thank you, guys.